This is Laura Mafka, aka Rogan Osrine, back at you with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about why semen retention is a lie. I want to also first shout out to all you guys who told me happy birthday and comment and support and watch the channel. I appreciate you guys so much, and it means the world to me. But let's get into today's video, guys, and I'm gonna try and do this more thoroughly because today I'm still getting better over this bad head cold I have. But yeah, we're keeping it pushing. But let's get into today's video. Semen retention is a big horrendous lie, and so many men have failed for this, and they can't help but fall for this because a lot of men aren't getting women naturally. A lot of men don't have real social friend groups. They don't have people they can go hang out with, walk around the mall to, play video games with as a group, a team, and just have people talk to them as human beings. So this is why things like semen retention is looks like something that's appealing to men, because it makes men think, okay, if you're disciplined, if you control your body, if you control your thoughts, that's somehow going to shape the outside world around you. And we know that is further from the truth. If anything, it's going to make your life harder. Already you aren't getting what you should naturally have. What do you think is going to happen if you keep suppressing yourself? And this is something that shows you that semen retention is so unnatural, especially when it's done in long periods of times. It's a very foolish decision to make. By the fact you're not getting that release, you're hurting yourself and you're straining your body. And these things like semen retention, not only are they not scientifically proven, they're also proven to make you more what? Stressed out. You're more frustrated. You're having to fight to control yourself, and you should never have to feel like in life that you're fighting to control yourself. And this is what semen retention always gets wrong in the end, because it's become like a religious cult. And you always see these people online who are promoting this type of stuff, talking about, oh, you'll become more attractive. Oh, you'll be able to get that job you want because you'll be so focused and dedicated towards it. And people will like your energy. They'll like your hard work. And these are lies. We already know if you aren't attractive, if people don't like you already from a young age, then you're really not going to get anywhere in life. And semen retention is something that gives men false hope and really poisons their mind. It skews their perception on reality. And this is why men who you see that practice semen retention are so aggressive. They think they have all the answers to life when in reality they really don't know much about themselves. How can a man survive the world when he hasn't fully explored himself and accepted the different parts of himself? And this is what semen retention does on an unconscious deep level. It teaches you to suppress your desires even more. And this whole view of, oh, it's sinful whenever you release, or if you have this thought, or if you do this certain action that leads you to look at women in a certain way, or if you relapse, it's just such a sick and just sinful behavior. And I've seen a lot of these Reddit posts, and most of these comments online, like on YouTube and these other places, of men just feeling horrified and just shameful of themselves for doing something that's natural. Now, obviously, if you're over exerting your self gratification mechanism, so to speak, what to call it right in this video, being more censored for YouTube. If you're overdoing self gratification, then yes, obviously, you need to pull back and refrain from doing it for a good 2 or 3 weeks. That I would say is keeping it into moderation. Or even if a man wants to try to get to a month, then fine. If you really want to go hardcore in that aspect and see how long you can go, then realistically speaking, a month would be, so to speak, a more realistic view of it. But you have these men telling you, oh, you need to go months and months, you need to go a year without self gratifying, when this is such a ridiculous concept. You already are facing stress from society. You're having your family not support you in the way you're supposed to be supported mentally and emotionally. You're not being pushed enough and encouraged by anything around you, because the whole ideal of having a family as a man, working for something outside of yourself, is dead. The only thing you do have is yourself. And pleasuring yourself is one of those tools that a lot of men are going to need to know how to balance out in their life. But so many of these semen retention guys will tell you, oh, you're going to become more attractive. You're going to be able to reach your goals more wisely. Your career is going to take off because you're going to be so masculine and aggressive in pursuing your ideals, and it's going to make your body more healthier, when these are nothing but a bunch of lies. These men think that they're getting healthier, but they're suppressing the very thing that they need to have a relief. Why are you suppressing something so much to where it's making you frustrated? It's making it to where you can barely focus. You're basically torturing yourself. This is a foolish decision that a lot of men are making, because this is what happens when you have a generation, a whole bunch of men who are not getting things in their life that a lot of men would have had back then in the 80s and 90s. When you aren't getting that type of healthy release from a partner that you're supposed to be with, having a woman in your life, this is what happens. You start to resort to going to religious, fanatical, dogmatic doctrines like semen retention, and that's how a lot of men treat it. And it's like I said a few minutes before, it's different if you're overdoing it every hour of the second. Then yes, you need to refrain from doing it for a while. But to go months and months to a year, and a few men that I've spoke to and seen online have claimed that they've done it for over 3 or 4 years, which I think is just a big horrendous lie. I mean, you're basically lying out your teeth if you're a grown man and you're telling me that you haven't done it within years in self gratifying, or at least relapsing in when you're sleeping or something like that. So a lot of these things like semen retention is creating a lot of insecurity in men. It's telling men, oh, don't accept what's natural in yourself. Accept what's unnatural. And this is why you see a lot of men are even more unhappy. Now imagine going to work and you're practicing semen retention every day. Let's say you're on almost like the second month. Do you know how frustrated you're going to be? Do you know how angry you're going to feel inside? It basically makes it even more easier for you to screw up and make a bad decision, because your mind isn't clear. Your mind is clouded, it's jaded, because your lustful thoughts haven't been released. And this is why semen retention is such a unhealthy approach to life for the most part. A lot of men who practice semen retention as well, you're going to notice that they're going to start having a big head about themselves. And some of these spiritual guys as well that you see online who are pushing for semen retention, ask yourself this question: why don't these men have the women that they want to have in their life? Why are these men always alone? If semen retention works, and I'm focusing purely in this sentence right here on the attraction aspect of it. If semen retention worked, then why are these men still alone? If they've done this for months and months and they still have no women coming up to them asking them out, anytime you know this is a lie, especially the attraction aspect of it, is when you have men who do it every day, but they have their face. They're on face retention. They've pulled back from all of the ugly looks. So since the man's face is looking good, he has women affirming to him. And this is what guys from semen retention don't want men to realize, is that it's a lie. It's not going to help your life get any better. If you've been in a bad situation for a while, you're going to have to learn how to deal with that in a very healthy manner. And semen retention is not a healthy manner. If anything, I would say for the men who want to test and torture themselves like they're in a guillotine somewhere by not having any release, a lot of men who already are getting women like that, the very few men, they can practice that semen retention stuff, because obviously they're overexerting their body. So then maybe that would be good for them. But for a man who's not doing anything, semen retention is basically is worthless. And it really doesn't change your life. You're going to do the things you're going to do in your life, regardless if you practice semen retention or not. All this is just making excuses for your inadequacies. You're blaming your natural body, all because you're not disciplined enough. Even if you self gratify that day, you should still be able to go to work. You should still be able to get whatever you need done and not make excuses like, oh, this is the reason why. My natural desires, my body is the reason why I'm not getting ahead. It's the reason why I can't attract women. It's the reason why I can't get a job. It's the reason why I'm not focused and don't have self respect. No, you have insecurities because most likely of your past. It's because you know deep inside that you're unattractive and you haven't accepted that yet. And you're not trying to cope with that in healthy manners and trying to lift yourself up. You're beating yourself down and overexerting yourself mentally to control something that you're supposed to be doing. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comment sections. I'd highly appreciate it. Semen retention is a lie, guys. I hate to break it to a few of you, but it's not going to change your life as much as you think it is, because it really doesn't do anything for you. The only person who's going to change their life, regardless of what you're doing, is yourself. Get your own mind discipline and go through the storm no matter what you're doing and going through. But you guys take care, and like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.